What attracts Lyon Hartwell to the portrait of his namesake? What is it that draws him to that? What does he see in it?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of things. First, there's a universal appeal. Everyone who looks at the portrait is captivated by it. The portrait is said to convey this energy and gallantry and joy in life. So it's just this very handsome young man that anyone would respond to. But I think there's also a very specific appeal for Hartwell, and we've already hinted at that by speaking about Hartwell's own father. His own father had been an expatriate, but a very dissatisfied one. He's described as the most unhappy of exiles. But in looking at this picture of his uncle, he sees the visage of his father, but the visage of his father now transformed and glorified. And he very much wants to understand the source of that.
Yeah, that's very important. In a way, the portrait gives him back the father that he never knew. So the portrait is itself very attractive, but it's more than just a portrait for him.
It's also, in addition to these very good things, this is the only sign of life or vitality that he finds on his trip home.
Besides the gallantry and the joy of life in the portrait leaves him with a question, and he wants to know what it is that enables this young man to give up everything in a moment, to sacrifice himself in the way in which he did. And so when he goes and he finds Virgil's Aeneid, in the back flyleaf of which is this uncle's drawing of the federal flag, and above that, the question asked by the Star-Spangled Banner. It is a moment that suddenly everything comes together for him. What it is that his uncle was living for, what it is that he was willing to die for. It has everything to do with the Republic.
Yeah, I mean, the discovery in the attic comes after he's already been on a quest for his uncle. I mean, his aunt is able to tell him that, oh yes, your uncle planted this one tree here in the garden. His mother put a bench around it where she could sit. Yes, he's buried in the rose garden. He finds out from an old soldier comrade of his how the uncle actually died. Tried to enlist at age 14, enlisted at age 15 in a charge against the breastworks, is carrying the flag, has it shot out from his arm, losing one arm, grabs the banner in the other, and makes it to the top of the hill, cheerfully laughing, and is killed with the other arm shot off, and dies with the flag wrapped around him. And then he wants to find out about the Civil War, and he discovers it's a war fought by boys. And he couldn't somehow understand what this was about, and is then looking for, as Amy said, what was it that could have made these boys in the peak of life with all of this vivacity and energy give it all up? Here he is. The date is 1862 when he scribbles in the book. So it's the year before he actually gets to enlist. And here he is studying Latin and the story of the founding of Rome, and doodling pictures of cannons and other things, muskets, and his mind is elsewhere. And one can't help but think that either he's repelled by the Roman example, or in a way inspired by the kind of patriotic sentiment there. How does it stand with our republic, which is now absolutely imperiled, and he can't wait to get out there and serve?
Yes, that's very important. The Aeneid is about the hero Aeneas, who founds Rome really out of the ashes of Troy. So it's a kind of new life resurrected. And he wants to find out, or his uncle wanted to find out, what's happening to our republic? What's going to save our republic? How does it fare with us? Are we going to live?